How would you describe the Bengals right guard position? In beautiful words, I might say, you know, it's like a construction area. You ever been driving on the highway or around town and you see construction signs, right? And you're like, well, those construction signs, they've been doing that construction project for like, at this point, it feels like years. And you start questioning, when are they going to get done that project, right? When is it going to be done with? And reality-wise, it's never going to be done with, right? It's always going to be this weird problem to have. That's how I feel about our right guard position. Zach Taylor said, in quotes, it's still a work in progress. Which I guess could be an understatement of the year, right? A work in progress. It's a work of something, all right. It's something. I don't know if I would have said work in progress per se, but it's a work of something. It's a work of something, 1,000%. Listen, at the end of the day, we're less than a month away from the season, and we still don't truly know what's going on with the right guard position. Like, Lucas Patrick's right now the guy leading the charge, I guess, as a starter. Cody Ford's a backup. But I don't think anyone watching this video right now fully feels confident in Lucas Patrick being the starter. And I don't think anyone feels confident that Cody Ford, being the starter either. Cody Ford maybe a little bit more. But it's still, we want an actual option. Now, who's playing in this Monday night game versus us will dictate how bad or good Lucas Patrick looks. So let's talk about that. There's only a few amount of players who have been ruled out already for the Commanders. These are players who are not going to play due to either injury or they are just simply holding out the said players. So, for example, Bobby Wagner is not playing versus us on Monday. Von Miller is not playing versus us on Monday. Zach Ertz, Laramie Tunzel, Sam Cosmi, Brandon Coleman, Noah Brown, Scary Terry, Marcus Mariota, Jordan McGee, and Javon Jean Baptiste and Jonathan Jones. So those are the players that have already been ruled out, which would assume every other player they have is going to play. But that's interesting. A Jaden Daniels show versus the Bengals here. I don't know. With a lot of his offensive line out, I'm going to guess he doesn't play Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to just assume that. Because with the fact that a lot of the offensive line is out, they're probably not going to play that. Last week, they actually started, I think the guy's name's Hartman. They started him versus the Patriots. So that would probably be my guess, that they would go towards something like that. Now, again, keep in mind, these are just guys ruled out. So it doesn't mean that at the end of the day, they might play some of their starters for maybe a series or maybe a couple plays, whatever they end up doing. Because we are in week 2. Now, keep in mind for us, we're going to be starting starters for majority of the first half. So we're going to be having our starting defense out there, our starting offense out there for majority of the first half. So if they put in their backups and they do what the Eagles do, I hope we don't get embarrassed again, because that was embarrassing last time we went against backups and it really looked very, very bad. But again, we'll have to wait and see. At the end of the day, some of these guys that aren't playing definitely are going to change up the game a little bit. Across the board, man, it looks like there's a decent amount of pass rushers for them that are not playing, which should give Lucas Patrick maybe a little bit better odds to look a little bit better. Which, again, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because he's still going to play Myles Garrett week 1. So, at this point, it's like, no matter how good Lucas Patrick looks, even if he, like, changed everything around and he wasn't getting thrown by Chris Jenkins anymore and he wasn't looking like a booty butthole, right, he's still going to have to play Myles Garrett week 1. And playing Myles Garrett week 1, that's easier said than done, right? So if he's getting thrown by Chris Jenkins, he's going to be thrown by Myles Garrett. So even if he goes against the best of the best or the worst of the worst in preseason, he's still going to look bad week 1, which we'll see. I don't know. I'm still not looking forward to that because I am 1,000% sure right now that the Brownies are just going to be lining him up versus Lucas Patrick every single play. We're not going to see anything but Lucas Patrick versus Myles Garrett, which, you know, it's funny because if our right guard position was a lot better, they would probably be doing it versus Fairchild because Fairchild's a rookie. But I think right now, arguably saying, Fairchild looks light years better than Lucas Patrick. And that's sad because he is a rookie. But even as a rookie, Fairchild looks 1,000 times better. So it almost looks like a point. Like if you compare Fairchild and Lucas Patrick, Fairchild looks like he would be like, I don't know, like a 20-year veteran playing at the top of the game. And Lucas Patrick looks like a 7th-round pick who you just picked up out of nowhere and, you know, you're hoping could maybe do something. Yeah, man. Anyway, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys in the next one.